Gallagher, Wilmington, Tewksbury, North Reading, Reading, Chelmsford, I believe, Boston. There's a great group of people in here.
Hey, how you doing, man?
So on behalf of everyone here this evening, we'd like to thank Mark Ginsburg again for his generosity in providing us with this amazing dinner and this amazing venue. Your dinner is being prepared by the gourmet caterers.
Tell me.
So let's give them a round of applause. Your servers tonight are Sheila Johnston, who is the event manager, Rachel, Caitlin, Grace, Danielle, Molly, Adriana, David, Jessica, and Elizabeth. As we had said before, you guys, you've been so kind against these dinners, and they're working so hard to make sure you have a meal on the table. So we would ask everybody, as we were mailing out tickets, there were notes in there, and asking everybody if they could be so kind to put at least a $5 bill for each person into the tip jar that's on the table, so we can take good care of our people that are taking care of us. Your bartenders this evening are Lenny and Jonathan. And the rest of the staff, we have Kate Campbell, Lisa Sarafin, who is the general manager. I have Judy Bass, and I have Sarah Gaffney, who is our events coordinator, and Lindsay Larson, who is the manager. So we can give them all a round of applause. That would be great. I have a few people that have been behind the scenes doing a lot of work for us, so I'd like to put a thank you out to Larry Reddy, Marlene Stevens, Catherine McLaughlin, Bill McLaughlin, Diane Kroll, Kathy Walsh, Jennifer McNeil, Jeff and Eileen Gould, Dan and Deb Mahoney. Actually, I don't call it the 12th annual dinner, but actually it's 13 for me because we did do 2 in 1 year at one point. But I tell you, the amount of work that's put into these things, I didn't realize how much it was until I got my assistant. Kathy, can you stand up? Raise your hand. I'd also like to thank Mark Meehl from NORCAM, Eric Evans from the North Reading Transcript, and Lorna Carey from the Tewksbury Country. A special thank you goes out to Karen Mullen, who's going to sing our national anthem, and Brad Bazzani, our DJ up there, who's been so kind each year to present you with some amazing music. We also have the United States Marine Corps Color Guard from the 25th Regiment. They are on Fort Devens, and they will be presenting our colors this evening. And I would also like to recognize VFW 8164 from Tewksbury, and from North Reading, VFW 10874. I'd also like to recognize people over at table 15 here. We've got Michael Gilberto, the town administrator for another worker, another employee over there who just recently started in North Reading, who is taking on as the Public Services Director. So she's overseeing 6 departments. State Rep Brian Jones will be here with us as well this evening, and Senator Bruce Tarr as well. But more importantly, I would like to recognize all the veterans and warriors who have joined us this evening. To all of you who have served this great nation, it is an absolute honor for me to put on this annual dinner for you. As well as the POW table ceremony. We're going to close the bar just for that time. We'll reopen it again for dinner. So with that, I'd like to call on the 25th Marine Color Guard. All right, desserts are not until after dinner. Just like your mama told you. If everybody would please stand for the presentation of our colors.
Ready, cut. Forward, march. Present colors.
Please remain standing for the presentation of our national anthem by John Mullen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and
cut. Color guard, fall out.
Please be seated. At this time, just before we do the ceremony, the presentation of the POW table, I'd like to call Jeff Meehl up, who will read what the flag means to me. Well, actually, it is the Irene is going to do it. So let's Jeff.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much to all the veterans, both inside of these walls and outside of these walls. So North Reading Republic Design Committee every year hands out a scholarship to a deserving high school student who answers the prompt, what the American flag means to me. And I love these beautiful flags surrounding us tonight. This year's choice was a young man by the name of Kyle O'Connell. He has gone to UMass Lowell, majoring in computer science with a focus in cybersecurity. So he will be very useful at some point, I'm sure, soon. So for Kyle, this is what the American flag means to him. To me, the American flag represents unity for all Americans and is a symbol of courage, freedom, and honor. The original flag is what bound each state together at the beginning of our country. The flag has been modified a total of 26 times since its original version in 1777. The current version was adopted in July of 1960, which contains 50 stars for each state and 13 stripes representing the original 13 colonies. It's the version that has been used longer than any other version. We celebrate the birthday of the flag as 1776, but the Continental Congress did not approve the flag with white stars on a blue background for another year. When the flag was first created, the states were only united vaguely as a country, and the flag was a symbol of this union. This was also shown through the lyrics of the Star Spangled Banner, which was composed in 1814, which I will say was so beautifully sung tonight. The song is entirely about unity through the country and the image of the flag. Unfortunately, this idea of unity has been very divided in recent memory because of the advent of social media. Social media has created algorithms, so people only see news that reinforces their own beliefs, making the country overall more extreme and less moderate. If you have more conservative beliefs, that is what you see on social media. Alternately, if you have more liberal beliefs, that is what you see. That can make it difficult for people to be more open-minded and see other people's point of view. Mainstream media has made many people believe that the American flag is a symbol of racism or Donald Trump supporters, which cannot be further from the truth. The flag is still used to cover the caskets to honor fallen soldiers. It's raised to half-staff when a significant figure has passed away, and we still put our hands to our heart as we look at the flag and recite the Pledge of Allegiance or sing the national anthem. We wave the flag when we go to war or when something or someone threatens our country. Many people fly the flag at their home or frame it and put it on a wall. We do this as a symbol of our love for our country. and to honor those who give their lives to keep us safe. The flag is one thing that can bring all U.S. citizens together, no matter their race, religion, socioeconomic status, or political belief. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem at his football game in 2016, it was meant to be a protest against police brutality. Unfortunately, he did not realize the strength of the American flag. He received the attention he was looking for, but in the wrong way. His protest of police brutality was lost in all the attention he received with disrespecting our flag. The discussion became whether he should be allowed to do that as a U.S. citizen. In my opinion, he may have had good intent, but he chose the wrong way to make a point. Disrespecting our flag is disrespecting our country, and there are much better ways to protest something you feel is not right. I feel our flag is probably the most important symbol of our country. I look at our flag and can feel the history it has gone through. It makes me feel the freedom we have that other countries do not have. Even though we have 50 separate states, we are united as one country. Our flag shows that unity while representing all 50 states. Our country was created as a place of freedom, and there are times some people try to take away some of our freedom. But if we look at our flag and remember it, why it was created, we can keep our country free and united. It makes me honored and grateful to live in the United States. To top it all off, our flag is beautiful. So that was his essay, beautifully written, very heartfelt. On a personal note, I must say, our scholarship committee every year, we get several of these essays. And it's very encouraging to see that we still have beautiful patriots in our high schools, in our youth. There's a lot to look forward to. On a personal note, I would like to thank all of you veterans in this room and beyond these walls. Thank you for keeping us safe and free. Thank you for defending our country and defending this beautiful American flag. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlene. Okay, so now we're going to have a presentation under the direction of Captain Castanetti. Sergeant Major Oswald, who decided to retire on everybody, but he's still here. Want to thank him for the many years of service as well. I'd like to introduce to you Beverly's high school cadets, junior ROTC cadets, and Major Martin. And I have Sergeant Major Sumner over there against the wall, and his cadets in here from the Salem High School. So I'm going to leave it to them, and they're going to do the presentation of the POW MIA missing team.
Thank you, Susan. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Captain Steve Castanetti, U.S. Navy retired, and I'm the commander of the Saugus Veterans Council. I do this POW MIA ceremony every year in Saugus, and I've done it in several other communities as well. And I don't know how many years for Susan here at this function, so It's a very touching ceremony, but I usually go right into it. Today I want to give you a little information as to why we do it. At present, more than 81,500 Americans remain missing from World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Cold War, the Gulf Wars, and other conflicts. 81,500 never came home. Out of more than 81,500 missing, 75% of the losses are in the Indo-Pacific, and over 41,000 of the missing are presumed to be lost at sea. Ship losses, known aircraft, water losses, etc. 41,000 at sea. In World War II, we still have over 63,998 folks missing in action. 2,000 of them from North Africa, 21,000 in Europe, 67 in the Middle East, 39,000 in the Indo-Pacific, 956 in Africa, and 632 in South America. This is all World War II. In Korea, 7,522 not accounted for. In Vietnam, we still have 1,581. In the Cold War, 126 total, 18 in Europe, and 108 in the Indo-Pacific. And in the Gulf Wars, we still have 5 unaccounted for. 81,500 human beings that never came home is the reason that we do this POW-MIA ceremony every year. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of our gathering. You may have noticed the table set before you. It is filled with symbolism. I will explain. This table is set for our prisoners of war and those missing in action from all wars. They are not with us today. Their chairs are empty, but saved for their hope to return. Let us remember their absence. Let us remember the United States Air Force, honored by Cadet Lang. Let us remember the United States Army, honored by Cadet Evan. Let us remember the United States Navy, honored by Cadet Lang. Let us remember the United States Marine Corps, honored by Cadet Chadbourne. And let us remember the United States Coast Guard, honored by Cadet Castillo. Let us remember the men and women, prisoners of war, from all branches of service that are too often forgotten. Let us remember them. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms, so that their children could remain free. Remember, the lone candle symbolizes the frailty of a prisoner alone, trying to stand up against his oppressors. Remember, the black ribbon on the candle reminds us of those who will not be coming home. Remember, the single rose reminds us of the loved ones and families of our comrades in arms who keep the faith and await their return. Remember, a slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate if we do not bring them home. Remember, there is salt on the plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait and remember. The glasses are inverted. They cannot toast with us tonight. Maybe tomorrow, if we remember. The red, white, and blue ribbon is tied to the flower vase by a yellow ribbon that was worn by thousands who awaited their return. Remember. The faded picture on the table is a reminder that they are missed very much and are remembered by their families. Remember. As we look upon this table, do not remember ghosts from the past. Remember our comrades. Remember those whom we depended on in battle. They depend on us to bring them home. Remember our friends. They are the ones we love, who love life and freedom as we do. They will remember what we do. Please honor and remember them. As Cadet Churko extinguishes this candle, let us transfer its flame to our hearts and remember. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our POW MIA ceremony today. Let us recognize the men and women of the Vietnam War who we have honored today as well as others. And remember those who will never come home. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to call Pastor Rachel Fisher, so she can give us the blessing of our God.
Good evening, friends. Good evening. I ask that you would join me in a moment of prayer. Gracious God, we are gathered here this evening to remember, as the captain all those who served honorably. God, we thank you for providing these servants to our country, people who would serve this country to give away their time with their family, with their loved ones, even to give away their very lives, if called upon to do so. God, help our hearts to be full of gratitude and memory. God, we ask that you would bless this meal and the hands that have prepared it. Bless our conversations. Bless the speakers who will present to us tonight. God, we are grateful for your presence with us. I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
At this point, we will open the bar back up. And I know you're going to be getting ready, you're going to be preparing to start serving our meals. But while we're doing that, Brad, do you have our medley there? Okay, let's do it. When you hand a branch, raise your hand or stand, please, so we can acknowledge you. Where's our army? Stand up, army!
Next up we have our Navy.
Okay, baby. Don't carry stand.
Next we have our Air Force.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Next up we have our Coast Guard.
All right, come on, you Coast Guard.
We also have our U.S. Space Force. Here tonight, but this song.
This is what, with my Marines. Big breath. Thank you all again for your service. I'd also like to point out table 23. We have a bunch of people, gentlemen, women from the state came out of Boston. I'd like to give them a round of applause. Would anyone like to say a few words? What you do? Sure you do.
So I work in the Veteran Services State Team, which is the statewide advocacy for veterans empowerment. And so what we do is we help veterans get connected to resources. So veterans and service members. If anybody would like a card or anything, or more information about the same team, you can come to us anytime you have first. Thank you.
Wow. So, while this stuff I bring food around, Senator Tarr had like a crazy schedule, so I'm going to bring him up a little earlier. He has a couple of, to address everybody and for a couple of presentations. Judy Voss, if you can come forward. Oh, there she is.
Sorry. You never know what to check.
Thank you very much, Good evening. I want to apologize. I'm experiencing a bout of laryngitis. Many people in the Commonwealth think it's really impossible in my case, but it is an honor to be able to call it. I want to thank the entire team for gathering us together to remember the importance of the service and sacrifice of our veterans, and their leadership in the world, and the shared opportunity to convene and think about how important they are to our nation and to our lives. There is one particular person we want to recognize tonight, and that is Mark Tewksbury from Tewksbury Country, who has been a remarkable supporter of veterans throughout their tenure with this facility. He's made the facility available, he's volunteered his time to service, and he has helped to lead by example when it comes to recognizing our veterans. And so, know that Mark could not be with us tonight, but we have, I understand, we have his able stand-in or understudy, and on behalf of myself, Senator Feinberg, we wanted to present this to him. So this is from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the State Senate. It's an official citation that reads, be it informed that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Mark Tewksbury of the Tewksbury Country in recognition of your 21 years of dedicated and committed service to veterans and their families and to the town of Tewksbury. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its best wishes for continued success. This citation was used by the President of the Senate and attested to and a copy thereof transmitted by our clerk. This is signed by our Senate President, Aaron Spilkin. It's attested to by our clerk, Burley, and it's offered by myself and Senator Barry Feingold on November 17, 2022, with deep appreciation and gratitude, not only for our service, but for our example to all of us in the law. Thank you so much.
And we'll reimburse all these presentations after dinner. In the meantime, enjoy the meal. For your committed dedication and respect of military discipline as an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given this 17th day of November in the year 2022, signed Arthur Cole, U.S. Army VFW 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, Veterans Director for North Reading, Rich Stratton, Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair. Next, I'd like to call on Cadet Abigail Dory, Beverly High School. This certificate of recognition is hereby presented to you, Cadet Abigail Dory, Beverly High, Marine Corps Junior ROTC, for your committed dedication and respect of military discipline. As an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year for presentation and ceremony. Given the 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed Arthur Cole, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, Director of Veteran Services North Reading, and Rich Stratton, Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair. Next is Cadet Connor Lang. This certificate of recognition is represented to Cadet Connor Lang, Beverly High School, Marine Corps, Junior ROTC, for your committed dedication, respect, and military discipline. As an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given the 17th day of November 2022, signed Arthur Cole, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, Veterans Director, North Reading, and Rich Stratton, Veterans Events Committee Chair. Cadet Jackson Lane, Beverly High School. Brothers. Certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Cadet Jackson Lane, Beverly High School, Marine Corps, Junior ROTC, for your committed dedication and respect of military discipline. As an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given the 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed Arthur Cole, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, Veterans Director, and Richard Stratton, Marine, and he's the Veterans Events Committee Chair.
To save Susan's voice a little bit, I'll read a few of these. Cadet Jailer Cadet Jailer Beverly High School, MCJR OTC. For your committed dedication and respect of military discipline, as an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given this 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed by Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, United States Air Force Veteran Director of North Reading, and Rich Stratton, U.S. Marine Corps Veterans Event Committee Chair. One more. Cadet Giovanna Ortolo. This is a certificate of recognition to hereby presented to Cadet Giovanna Ortolo, Salem High School, Marine Corps Junior ROTC. For your committed dedication and respect of military discipline as an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given this 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed by Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Wagner, U.S. Air Force, Veterans Director, North Reading, and Richard Stratton, U.S. Marine Corps Veterans Event Committee Chair. Congratulations.
Next, I'd like to call on Cadet Gershon Castillo. Certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Cadet Gershon Castillo, Salem High School, Marine Corps Junior ROTC, for the years committed for your committed dedication and respect of military discipline. As an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given this 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Wagner, U.S. Air Force, North Reading Veterans Director, and Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair. Cadet Emily Chabon. Certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Cadet Emily Chabon, Salem High School, Marine Corps Junior ROTC Cadet, Junior ROTC, for your committed dedication and respect of military discipline. As an outstanding cadet, we thank you for your honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony, given this 17th day of November in the year of 2022. Signed, Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Wagner, U.S. Air Force Veterans Director for North Reading, and Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair.
Cadet Aiden Everett. Certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Cadet Aiden Everett, Salem High School, Marine Corps, JROTC, for your committed dedication and respect of military discipline. As an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given the 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed by Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Wagner, United States Air Force Veterans Director, North Reading, Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair. Congratulations. Cadet Sophia Fritz. Certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Sophia Prince, Salem High School, Newport Junior ROTC. For your committed dedication and respect for military discipline, as an outstanding cadet, we thank you for honoring veterans each year through presentation and ceremony. Given the 17th day of November in the year 2022, signed by Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, United States Air Force Veterans Director, North Reading, Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair. Congratulations.
Next, I would like to call up Captain Steve Castanetti. I've been working with these folks, and I believe it's 12 years now. 12 years, and not 1 year have they failed to put on an amazing ceremony and presentation for all of us. I can't say enough about them, and I can't thank them enough for all the support they've given for ideas. So, that being said, certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Captain Steve Castanetti, U.S. Navy retired. He's a Marine Corps Junior ROTC instructor. For many years of committed dedication and devotion to the Marine Corps Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, and over 10 years of faithful service of support of the annual Veterans Dinner for veterans and their families. Given the 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, Veterans Director, North Reading, and Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps Veterans Events Committee Chair. And I have one more here. And this certificate of recognition, I'd like to call up Sergeant Major Ken Oswald. So a little story about Sergeant Major. He decided to retire, and then he went back out of retirement and came back to take care of these cadets. Obviously, he has a great love for this job, but he is now officially retired. But enjoys coming, obviously, to be a part of everything. So we're grateful for that. So the certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Sergeant Major Ken Oswald, United States Marine Corps retired, Marine Corps Junior ROTC instructor, for many years of committed dedication and devotion to the Marine Corps Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, and over 10 years of faithful support of the annual Veterans Dinner for veterans and their families. Given the 17th day of November in the year of 2022. Signed, Arthur Cole, U.S. Army, VFW Post 10874 Commander, Susan Magner, United States Air Force, Veterans Director, North Reading, and Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps, Veterans Events Committee Chair. So what they were all given was challenge points. So, with their respective branches. So, if anybody want to do a photo op with them, that'd be great. Cadets, I think I can ask you, you're all set. Oh, thanks for your time. Sergeant Major Sumner and Major Monk are now taking over. And looking forward, I'd like to call Judy Bass up. She is. So obviously, you know, in all the years that Mark has been doing an amazing job in supporting all these wonderful events that he did for the veterans throughout the years. I have a certificate of recognition as well from him. And certificate of recognition is hereby presented to Mark Ginsburg for over 20 years of committed dedication and devotion to veterans and their families. We will always be grateful for your generous dinners and support of our men and women who took the oath to defend the borders of this great nation. Given this 17th day of November in the year of 2022, signed Arthur Cole, U.S. Army VFW Post 1874 Commander, and Susan Magner, United States Air Force, Veterans Director for North Reading, and Richard Stratton, United States Marine Corps, Veterans Committee, Veterans Events Committee. Okay, I would like to call State Representative Brad Jones.
Good evening, everyone. It is a distinct honor to be here with you tonight. Couple presentations or comments. I know you probably think this is a citation from the House to Bruce Tarr for the shortest speech he's ever given in his entire life. But as you know, he was dealing with laryngitis and not feeling 100%. And I would just say that I think it should serve as a recognition of the commitment that Bruce has, both to the veterans and his constituents that he's here. As you know, he has a multitude of towns and spends all his days crisscrossing, and I know he would love to have stayed, but wanted to offer recognition to Mark Ginsburg for all that he's done. So I have a similar recognition from the House, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts House of Representatives. Be hereby known to all the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers sincerest congratulations to Mark Ginsburg in recognition of your 25 years of faithful dedication and service to the town of Tewksbury, its veterans and citizens, and the surrounding communities and the owner of the Tewksbury Country Club. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors, given the 17th day of November, 2022. So congratulations to Mark, and thank you so very much. And you know we have Mark's assistant here standing in. We want to thank him, and we're pleased to offer. And before I give the microphone back to Susan, one of the most challenging things about Veterans Day for me is that all of my communities have events at the same time. So it really is great to have this dinner on a different day to allow me the opportunity to come by and see familiar faces and friends, make some new acquaintances, and most importantly to say thank you to the veterans. And to say thank you, especially this year, to our Vietnam veterans, and to say thank you for your service and welcome home. I was unfortunately unable to get to North Reading's events this year, where I was so proud that we became a Purple Heart community. But I attended a ceremony in Reading, where they built and erected and dedicated a new memorial at Reading Memorial High School for Vietnam veterans. And they had 7 young men who went to Vietnam that didn't come home. So we heard from the sister of one, the brother of another, who talked about loved ones lost. We heard from the nephew of another, who talked about loved ones never known. And for me, I built it as a full Kleenex, box of Kleenex event. There really wasn't dry in the house at the event. So I would urge all of you, because even though it's at Reading Memorial High School and it's dedicated to those 7 veterans, it's dedicated to all Vietnam veterans, to take a moment to stop by. As you know, if you go by Reading Memorial High School, they have a beautiful mural on the entrance. The memorial is is there, the benches are there. It's a wonderful tribute, not only for those 7 veterans, but all the Vietnam veterans. And unfortunately, since I couldn't get to North Reading, I think Lillian is here, and she is Massachusetts' most recent Medal of Liberty recipient. So Lillian, just raise your hand and shake your hand, please. One of the things I was going to let Lily know about tonight was that most recently one of the things the legislature did was create the opportunity for you to get a license plate honoring, recognizing you as a recipient of the Medal of Liberty. But Lillian beat me to it. She's already been at the registry of motor vehicles. So she just got the medal. She's already done. She's already done her paperwork. So you're going to be able to put this on your car and drive around and let people know of your family's sacrifice. And we thank you for the service of your loved one and your sacrifice. And one of the things that I'm proud to serve the House is that each and every year we work. This year we did a piece of legislation called the SPEED Act. And if you look across the states, Massachusetts may not do everything right. One of the things we try to do right is to try to each and every year recognize and honor veterans, try to do a little bit more than we offer in the way of support and recognition. And we're going to continue to do that. Because the reality is you had our back. The least we can do is try to always have your back. So thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And appreciate the opportunity to say those few words tonight. And enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Jones. I'd like to call up State Representative Dave Robinson.
I see you all. I thought you got a free dinner tonight, so you have to listen to all us elected folks. I'm sorry for coming in a little bit late. It was a bit of an getting into the city, but as representative from Tewksbury Wilmington, this is something I very much look forward to, welcoming all you veterans from our local area into Tewksbury. It's a bit of a special place for those who have been here before. You know that some of the very first reinforcements for the Battle of Lexington and Concord gathered just about a half-mile up the road. In fact, a couple of years ago, the Historical Commission here erected a series of granite monuments for where the Minutemen first gathered and marched over. At the time, we were a part of Barica, but we've wisened up since then. And now we're a part of the town of Tewksbury. So, it's a special honor to have grown up in this place, and it's only possible because of the men and women that are gathered here tonight. You know, when I was a teenager, I always said it was a boring town, everything closes at 9 o'clock, but in retrospect now as an adult, I realized that I was a benefit of an excellent school system, safe streets, every sport imaginable. I was in the Scouts. And as I grew older and went around the world and I had experiences, including I myself was in Russia, realized that these things that I had taken for granted growing up were all because of what the men and women that came before, from the Revolutionary War days through World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and that stood for. And that was to allow folks that lived in Tewksbury, Barica, North Reading, Wilmington, Andover, and the like, to put together and decide their own destiny and their own freedom. And I think it's quite fortunate that I have the honor of not just representing some of the finest towns I live in the Commonwealth, but the state that literally fired the first shots to create this great nation. And it is an honor to represent you, those who follow in footsteps since Massachusetts has never backed down from the fight. So tonight I'm going to ask Rep. Jones to come back up. For those, and he's not here this evening, he's not really a braggart, but you've heard the name Ginsburg time and time again. And the only time he really makes some noise really is your local. It's when he's up in his helicopter doing some sort of golf ball drop for charity. He's really a guy that sits in the shadow, and he's one of the people that just takes a town, a community, and instead makes it a home. He never asks for anything. So I also, on request of the office, have brought down a congratulatory citation here. And it's also from the House of Representatives, and I just asked Rep. Jones because we'd like to do a broad one for all that Mr. Ginsburg has done, because I think he's been 20 years to do this.
20? Well, he's been here 25 years.
As I was saying, you know what I was doing 25 years ago? Yeah, we'll leave that one in. That was it. Exactly. But 2 decades of support and generous donations while hosting the annual Veterans Dinner at the Tewksbury Country. Your well wishes and support of our veterans shall never be forgotten for all they have done for our community, Commonwealth, and country. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and is signed by the Speaker, myself, Representative Jones, and Representative Wynn, as happened to Tewksbury. So,
Judy,
Judy,
come back.
I know. So before we hand that over, I just wanted, and unfortunately not going to be down here, there are 2 gentlemen that I haven't seen in the audience, so I want to highlight, just only because of their age and experience. I had the pleasure of meeting one over this weekend. That's Major Donald Lynn Scott. He's up the street at Blair House. He received a presidential citation. He's 99 years old. He's one of the last 10th Mountain Division World War II veterans. So, it was a great little experience, you know, being on the younger end of things. I asked him what the secret is to life. So he told me, spend time with family and make sure your beer is always at least 3.2% alcohol by volume. That's the secret to making it to 100 years old apparently. And then the other, I don't know, looking around, Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran was a merchant marine, is 17 years old in World War II, and in Korea. He lives in Wilmington. He still walks to this day. And in fact, when the moving wall came to Wilmington, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, it was just before COVID. I had grown up on a little dead-end street known as David Morris, and I knew a little bit, but Walter filled me in. And Mr. Morris was a, I believe, OH-53 Little Bird pilot. I don't know what the Kiowa was titled back in Vietnam, but it was a light artillery observation helicopter that was killed in action. So, I unfortunately don't see the Major or Mr. Moran down here this evening. But I'd like to say a special thank you to them because I believe Walter is also on the cusp of 100 years old. God bless him, having a secret of life. So, everyone else, thank you. In about 20 minutes, you're going to see me sneak out, and my only request for you is that if you live in Wilmington or know someone that lives in Wilmington, the reason I'm sneaking out early, we're having a massive vote on our senior center this weekend. So if you have friends, family, relatives over there, tell them to come down and vote. We desperately need it. But please, I ask you to spare me being rude and ducking out a little bit early, as the representative can tell you sometimes public service doesn't wait. So welcome all to Tewksbury. Thank you. Grab that beer. They told you to do so. And again, thank you for all you've done. It's an honor to address you this evening.
Select Board member from NORCAM.
And everyone, yeah, you can hear me, right? I don't have to hold that. So first I want to say how honored I am to be able to be involved in this. It is my greatest honor on the board to be the liaison to the Veterans Committee and to be able to honor the veterans in the ways that we've been able to. Last year, we were able to bring forth a proclamation to make the month of November Veterans and Military Families Appreciation Month with Sue's help, and that was a great thing to do. But this year we topped that and became a Purple Heart community, which was such an honor. We were able to proclaim that and give up the Liberty Awards, and it was just fantastic. It's my greatest honor to be able to be involved in that. So normally, I read a poem. I write the same poem every year. But today, a video popped up on my phone from Representative Steve Zaros. I didn't want to mess up his name.
who is a Gold Star parent. He lost his son in Afghanistan. And he was speaking on this video about his friend Paul Monty, who is also a Gold Star parent, who lost his son in Afghanistan. And Paul Monty, many years ago, on NPR, was being interviewed about the loss of his son. And he was speaking about driving his son's truck, because it was what made him feel close to him. And while he was doing that interview, a Nashville songwriter was listening to the interview and was brought to tears listening to him. So she started to jot down all the things he was saying. And she wrote a song, and it's called I Drive Your Truck. And it went to #1 on the country stations. Lee Brice sings it. And I just felt so moved to talk about that tonight instead of reading the poem. And now I'm just lost. So anyway, Paul Monty passed away recently, and all of the soldiers that were with Jared in Afghanistan flew from all over the country to come here. Did I mention he was from Massachusetts? He was from Massachusetts, from Raynham. So they all flew here, and they drove Jared's truck to the War National Cemetery, and they carried Paul Monty's casket.
Thank you again for that. I'd like to call Major Martin and Sergeant Major Sumner. Perhaps maybe they can give you a little bit of what's going on these days over Beverly and Salem.
Good evening, everybody. Sergeant Major Sumner, Career Instructor, Salem High School. It's my 3rd year doing it. Things in Salem are growing. After the pandemic, obviously everything kind of tanked a little bit. We're in the upswing now. We're getting better, more competitions, kids are getting involved, they're motivated, enjoy being here. More importantly, gaining a broad perspective on life. I teach them that it's not just about joining the military or joining the police force, going to college. It's about being part of something bigger than themselves, which we all are. Right? We all think we're individual, but not, we're collective. And that's how we work as a team. So we're still growing, getting better. And I'd also like to add that when I came in 2020, I didn't know what I was doing, I had no clue. So I reached out to the other instructors for help. That's what Marines do. Reach out and take care of one another. I represented Glen English, Sergeant Major Oswald. Reached out to Beverly, Gloucester, Haverhill. And we all got together. And now we work as a team. So we're like the North Shore Warriors. We're doing it not for each other. We're tired. We can't get bored anymore. We're done. We do it for the kids. So I'm honored to be part of this North Shore team with the fellow instructors. So thank you for giving me time to get up here, and God bless fellow veterans, and God bless America.
Okay, before I start, I just want to say that, I kind of got emotional just now hearing the Monty story, okay? I was in Afghanistan, and 6 months before I got there is when Jared lost his life, okay? 3 miles from where I was stationed at. So for those of you who don't know, when somebody like that loses their life, they rename the forward operating base off of the fallen service member. Okay, so that was Fob Monty, and we had, I can't tell you how many times I've been to Fob Monty. So hearing that song and hearing the story was kind of touching. For me, Beverly High School, I've been doing this now for 10 years. 3 years at the college level, Virginia Tech. I retired from the Marine Corps, went to Haverhill High School, did that for a couple of years. Then I had the opportunity to go to Hawaii and teach there for the past 3 years. One day in Hawaii, I got a phone call from Sergeant Major Oswald, sitting over there right now, and made me aware that Beverly High School was opening up, and he heard that we wanted to move back to New England. So I appreciate Sergeant Major making that phone call. And now that I'm back here with this weather, I'm struggling. Yeah. But like Sergeant Major Sumner said, the JROTC program, I got there. I appreciate what Sergeant Major did for the cadets, and I'm just trying to take that to the next level. Our programs are all about leadership and character development. And when I go there, and I had a conversation with my wife on my way over here, she's like, "I'm sorry you're gonna have a late night." And I was like, "Do I have a job? You know, I don't really feel like I have a job. You know, I get to work with the kids keep me going. They come in, they ask me, "Sir, can we come in early in the morning? Can we stay late? Can we volunteer for this?" The students that I brought today volunteered for this 2 months ago. All right, so I appreciate working with them, just like Sergeant Major Sumner said. They keep me going. So I owe it to all the cadets, and I look forward to growing our program and continue to serve all you all. Thank you.